I'm figuring if you're watching this video, you're either looking for the nostalgia factor or you're a curious cat as well. Let's kill some Sims. Hi, hey, hello, my name is Sarah and welcome to Spooky Season 2023. For the entire month of October, I have some spooky themed Sims videos coming your way and I'm ridiculously excited to get started. And today, we're playing through nostalgia by looking at all of the deaths in The Sims 1. Now, hold your freaking horses because I know that some of you who have been here for a while will be like, hey, you've already done this video, but I didn't really like it. I'm re-recording this video to make it as informative as I can for people who are not familiar with The Sims 1 if they would like to achieve these deaths for themselves in the game. I am going to be telling you exactly how to do it and we're going to have a better time with this video. That being said, in The Sims 1 there are 7 Sims deaths and there are 2 pet deaths. We're not going to be looking at the pet deaths because I don't feel like crying today. With that being said, let's jump into The Sims 1. Let's kill some Sims. The very first death that we're going to be exploring, which is one of the easiest anyway, is drowning. Now this is absolutely classic. Even if you're new to the Sims franchise, you know that you get your Sim in a pool and you remove the pool ladder and they die. I realize every time I make these videos that I just sound absolutely freaking psychotic. I am not psychotic, I promise. I'm figuring if you're watching this video, you're either looking for the nostalgia factor or you're a curious cat as well. So if you would like to drown your Sims in The Sims 1, you're gonna need to build a pool, obviously. And we're also gonna need to have a pool ladder, obviously. So then once you've built your pool and you have your pool ladder, you're gonna get your Sim to get in the pool, obviously. So then once your Sim is in the pool, you go into build by and you delete the pool ladder. And basically what's gonna happen is your Sim's just gonna keep swimming and swimming and swimming until they get so tired that they fall asleep and they drown. So my Sim that I have here, who I aptly named Drown, she got in the swimming pool at 7:20 in the morning. She gained 3 body skills in her time swimming around before she passed away, and she did in fact die at 5:28 p.m, which is about 10 hours, just over 10 hours after getting in the pool, which that's a long time to be swimming for. So there we go, that is the actual death animation. So it's very quick. Once it happens, it's very quick. The longest part is obviously waiting for the energy to drain. So interestingly enough, with this death, the Grim Reaper does not show up. There's a couple of deaths in The Sims 1 that the Grim Reaper doesn't show up for. We do have the death message on screen which says, "Rest in peace, deepest sympathy, Drown has just died. Though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain." And then she got one of the really big tombstones. Fantastic. So yes, here we are, starvation time is happening. The easiest way that I feel to have your Sim die from starvation is to isolate them and give them a room with no fridge. So what I did for this one is I built a room with a door and then I let my Sim go in the room. And once my Sim was in the room, I went back into build and buy, and just like the pool ladder, I deleted the door. So he is now stuck inside the room, can't leave the room, no one can get into him either, and there will be no food consumed by this man. I give them all the other necessities to make them comfortable, like a toilet, a shower, a bed, a TV and stuff. They just can't eat. So I removed the door to this room at 14 minutes past 7 in the morning, and he actually died a few days later at 1:30 p.m. It was about 54 Sim hours that it took for him to actually actually have his hunger deplete completely and for him to actually starve. It's a long time. It really gives you the chance, many chances, to change your mind and give them food. It's actually very forgiving in that manner. So with that being said, a couple of other things to note. Once your Sim's hunger gets super low, they will not sleep. They will just constantly wake up. You can send them to bed, they'll get into bed, and then they'll just immediately get up and go, yo, I'm freaking hungry. However, because your Sim can't sleep, they're gonna need to sleep before they pass from starvation. So your Sim's just gonna pass out on the floor. So here he is, passed out on the floor. But it happens very quickly again once it actually starts to happen. After you've had plenty of time to change your mind, it happens pretty quickly. I wish I'd turned the TV off for that one. So, because I feel like the TV kind of muffled some of the sounds, because I feel like there was way more sounds the last time I did this. The voice actors are absolutely the MVPs of The Sims 1 I've found throughout all of my time playing The Sims 1. Some of the things that they've had to do. Also, the Grim Reaper. The Sims 1 Grim Reaper is actually terrifying and one of my favorite Grim Reapers in the game. So here we are again with rest in peace, deepest sympathy, Starve has just died. Though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain. So it was at this point that I decided that we were going to start a little garden for all of our tombstones, and for Starve we actually got the medium-sized tombstone. It's really nice. So with that being said, that is Starvation. Also a pretty easy death, just takes a little bit longer, that's all. Yes, you did in fact read right. You can die by skydiving in The Sims 1. It does require the Sims Superstar, and it also does require a cheat as well. Not like super cheaty cheats, just a little itty bitty, incy wincy, a cheat. So basically, if you have the Sims Superstar, you can have the skydiving simulator, which is like one of those big places that we have in real life, the big tube things that you can go in and you're like wearing the suit and there's the air that's blowing you. One of those things. So steps for completing this one. We're gonna buy the skydiving simulator and we're gonna have our Sim go inside. And I mean, it looks like she's having a really great time. Okay, maybe I take that back. Maybe she's not having a great time. So now that we have our Sim inside the skydiving simulator, we need to activate our cheat. So if you don't know how to activate the cheat console in The Sims 1, you're gonna hold your control key, your shift key, and the C key on your keyboard all at the same time, and it'll bring up this little green bar. Now in that bar, we're gonna type in the move objects cheat. We're gonna need that cheat for this one. So in The Sims 1, you're gonna type move_objects space on. Now that we have that cheat activated, we need to block the door because the death basically is kind of like the ladder in the pool. We're making it so that our Sim can't get out of the skydiving simulator and she's just going to be skydiving for the rest of her days. So I generally buy like one of the big couches to block the entire doorway, which we are able to do now that we have the cheat activated. You can see it's now in the doorway. So now that we've got the couch in the doorway, it's all about waiting. And again, it doesn't really take very long because similar to the swimming, once the energy completely depletes, that's when she dies. And the animation is super interesting. So my Sim started skydiving at 8:25 a.m. and she actually died at 10:57 a.m. So about 2.5 hours after she got in there. So that's what I mean. It's a very, very quick one. And I can imagine that doing this skydiving simulator for 2.5 hours would be very physically draining. So I completely understand. Still looks like she's not having a great time. She did get a couple of body skill points. I think she got 2, maybe 1 or 2. So again, just like all the other ones, once it happens, it's super freaking quick. Oh my god, blink and you could miss it, actually. And this is another one of those deaths where the Grim Reaper doesn't show up. It's what I call an insta-death. You just get given the tombstone immediately. So, deepest sympathy, Skydive has just died. Though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain. And for Skydive, we did get one of the little itty-bitty headstones. So my garden is looking quite nice at the moment. Absolutely iconically, The Sims 1 is the first instance of having guinea pig disease, or in The Sims 4 they call it rabid rodent fever, but it originates in The Sims 1 and it's kind of amazing. I had no idea it was a thing until a couple years ago when I was looking at different ways of killing your Sims in The Sims 1. I'm like, this was here the whole time and I had no idea as a child. So guinea pig disease, it takes a little bit of effort, but not really. It's mostly just a time-based thing. Once you know that it's going to be happening, you've then just got to wait it out. So first things first, you're going to need to buy the guinea pig cage. You'll find it in Build Buy. So now that we've got our guinea pig, basically we're gonna feed the guinea pig over and over and over again, and eventually you'll see that like the ground in the cage will get dirty. You can physically see it change from clean to dirty. And I will have just shown you here as well, so you know to physically look for the cage to get dirty. Once the cage gets dirty, technically you should clean it. That's what you should do if you're being a responsible pet owner. But we're not gonna do that because we're not feeling responsible today. Instead, we're gonna play with the guinea pig. So with our sim playing with the guinea pig, eventually the guinea pig should bite the sim and it'll probably cancel out of the interaction very soon after that. The thing is, just because your sim gets bitten doesn't mean they're guaranteed to catch the disease. There is a surefire way to know when they are sick, and basically if nothing happens after the interaction ends, then you'll need to play with the guinea pig again. So how do you know when they're sick? There it is. They start coughing, they start sneezing, they start hacking up a lung when they are sick with the disease. This happens like straight after an interaction gets cancelled. After they get bitten and then they cancel themselves out of the interaction, they will immediately cough or sneeze when they are sick. So as the disease wears on, their needs are gonna start decaying quicker and quicker, like they're gonna get in a really bad mood much quicker. They're also going to just constantly cough and sneeze, and these like fits of coughing and sneezing, they're gonna last longer as the disease sets in. So pretty much you're just trying to make your sim as comfortable as you can until they pass. So the first physical signs of my sim being sick happened at 4:23 p.m. and then my sim passed away at 7 o'clock a.m. the next morning. So it's about 15 hours between having the first physical sign of sickness and passing away. Do you see what I mean about the Sims 1 voice actors just being absolute MVPs? I mean, we're gonna hear more really good examples of the voice acting coming up as well, but wow, that was very, very intense sounding. So deepest sympathy, Rodent has just died. Though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain. Now, I didn't actually show you the footage of her tombstone, but she also gained one of the really big ones, the really tall ones. In The Sims 1, I don't know if rabid rodent fever is contagious, so let me know in the comments down below if you know the answer to that one. So for Electrocution, we're actually gonna have a 2-in-1 for some spooky fun. Thanks to West Anime Sims, who let me know how to actually achieve this. To set the scene, we're gonna need to have our TV break down, and we're also gonna need to have some water on the floor around the TV when our sim goes to fix it, because we all know electricity and water, they don't mix. I mean, we all know that, right? Right? So the foolproof way that Worst Anime Sims, let me know in the comments, is we're gonna need to turn our sim into a monster and have the monster break all of the stuff, and then once the sim's not a monster anymore, try to fix the stuff. That's the plan. So to make our sim into a monster, which is the extra little added bonus that we're gonna have for this spooky video, you're gonna need to buy the Concoctination Station, which is the chemistry set, and we're gonna need our sim to be making potions left, right, and center. Now, the potion we are going to need for this death here is the purple potion, which will turn your sim into a monster for a few hours, and that will break all of your electronics and all of your plumbing in your house, and will probably just run around going, rah, 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 I'm a freaking monster. So as we've been brewing potions, we brewed so many potions, and this has never happened to me before, but I had the big giggles when a police lady came to my door, knocked on my door, and we got freaking fined for making too many potions. She says, "Kids can smell these toxic fumes a mile away at school. Whatever you're making, knock it off. You have been fined 500 simoleons." I've never had that happen before. Absolutely iconic. I love that. But as you can see, right as this was happening with our police lady, we did in fact get the purple potion that we needed. So now that we have the purple potion, let's drink the purple potion. I love how he looks around as if he's gonna get in trouble. You're a fully grown adult, mate. Drink the potion if you want to. Freaking Frankenstein, Repair has been turned into a monster. Now this is why I strategically placed sinks near the TV, because now we've got a pool of water in front of the TV. And with that, the TV is now broken, so we have everything we need now in order to be able to have this sim die by electrocution. But we gotta wait until the monster turns back into the man. And there we go, he's back to being the man. So now that we have our beautifully placed puddles and have pretty much flooded the entire house, we are ready to have Repair come and try and repair the TV. Again, the voice actors coming in absolutely clutch. So deepest sympathy, Repair has just died. Though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain. Now, before we leave this death though, we're actually going to do a quick little instant replay thing happening, because a really nice detail that you may have not noticed because I probably cropped it so that you couldn't even freaking see it, is when your sim is being electrocuted in The Sims 1, their little icon that they have down where you select your sim, it freaking is getting electrocuted as well. That is such a nice little detail. Absolutely amazing. I really like that. Fire in The Sims 1. I have a very interesting relationship with fire in The Sims 1. I always seem to have fires when I don't want them, and then it's a little bit harder to have a fire when I do want it. That being said, I'm very happy to report that in this video I had absolutely no issues with starting a fire, so I'm going to give you my foolproof way of starting a fire in The Sims 1. So for this one, I specifically built a tiny little room. I got a fireplace and I got a rug. Now I did have the move object cheat still on, so I put 2 rugs in there just to make sure, because I wanted this to go smoothly and quickly. So by the way, the rugs right in front of the fireplace, that's where you want them. You want them right in front of the fireplace so that they are an actual fire hazard. So now that we do have our fireplace, we're going to need our sim to come in the room and light the fire. Now once he is in the room, I'm locking the door and throwing away the key. Actually, I'm not. I'm just deleting the door in its entirety so that he's stuck in this room and he will not be able to escape once the fire has started. I found it so funny that he went to the fireplace because he hates it, but you're about to hate it big time because you're immediately on fire. So deepest sympathy, fire has just died. Though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain. And the thing with death by fire is the fire's just gonna keep burning until the whole room has burnt out. We got ashes freaking everywhere, and in the middle is our little urn full of fire's remains. Another thing I really quickly want to mention about that death is I've spoken before about the voice actors. Absolutely amazing, but the female voice actor for Death by Fire, oh my god. I'm gonna have to insert a clip from the video that I deleted of me doing this last time because she is amazing. The absolute freaking trauma that she was pulling to have those screams be a thing. Let's roll the clip. Like, wow, I could feel all of that. Absolutely amazing. So with that being said, our garden is actually complete. We've had 6 deaths so far in The Sims 1, and these are our tombstones that we collected along the way, which is really nice. But if you think this video is over, we've still got one more death in The Sims 1. Dragons. This is definitely the most convoluted death in The Sims 1. It might even be one of the most convoluted deaths in the Sims franchise, actually. I never had a dragon when I was little playing The Sims 1, so this was my first experience playing with dragons. I was screaming at my computer with rage, but I learnt some things, so I'm gonna tell you all of the things that I learnt. So let's get started. First things first, it does require making magic because dragons are a part of making magic. With making magic, when you move a family into a household, you will have the mysterious man come to your door and deliver a box of magical goodies. You're going to want to unpack the box. You're going to want to make a special little magic space for your electronic spell book and your spell wand charger thingamajiggy. And you're also going to want to go back to the cardboard box and grab everything that's in there. In the cardboard box, there's magic coins and there's some ingredients, and there is also a magic wand. And you'll know when you've got everything because that cardboard box is gonna shoot itself away up into the freaking sky. So we did get some ingredients in that magic box, and if we go to our electronic spell book, you'll see that the very first spell requires toadstools, toad sweat, and butter, which are the ingredients that we were given from the magic box, which is amazing. So we're gonna take those ingredients, we're gonna pop them into the little cauldron brewing thing that we've got given in the box as well. And once we put the ingredients in, we're going to stick our wand into that. We're going to charge the wand, and that gives us the toadification spell, which is the spell that we're going to need for this death because we're going to turn someone into a toad and they're gonna get eaten by a dragon. It's gonna be a great time, eventually. We got a little ways to go before we get down that road though. So the description of the toadification spell says, sometimes you just need a toad. Have you tried getting a toad from the shops in Old Town? Of course you have. Did you find one? Of course you didn't. And that's because toads were run out of SimCity after the mayor's wife was caught kissing an especially slimy toad. But now you can get your own toad. Just temporarily toadify whomever you want. Friends, family, enemies, neighbors, all of them are just begging for toadification. Just be careful that people don't catch you casting it, as toads are still illegal in many areas of SimCity. I love that little bit of lore. That is fantastic. So this next step is not essential, but it's probably going to make things a little bit easier for you. Spend a little time to get your Sims logic skill to level 5. It doesn't take terribly long if you just get them to go at it and keep going and keep going and keep going and have someone else that can maybe cook meals. Like, it really doesn't take very long to get to the logic skill. I'll explain why in just a moment. When you are ready, jump into the hole in the ground that we got from the box. And it's going to take us to Magic Town. Now, specifically, we're going to go down to the bottom left here. There's 2 gothic looking lots. Vernon's Vault is the bigger of the 2 lots. We're going to go to Vernon's Vault. At Vernon's Vault, we have the iconic Vicky Vampiress. She sells you dragon stuff. So there's dragon ingredients like dragon scales and dragon tears, but she also sells you dragon treats and dragon chew toys. and dragons' nests. Now, we did get some magic coins from the box. We only got 35 magic coins from the box though, and we do not have enough magic coins to buy the dragon's nest straight away. The easiest way to gain the magic coins is by putting on a little show at this like stage thing. There's 3 different shows that you can put on, and you'll get magic coins for each of these shows you put on. However, if you have no logic skill, you'll only get 5 magic coins for each of the shows that you perform. If you have level 5 of logic skill, you'll get 15 magic coins for every show that you put on. So it's worth it to spend that little bit of extra time to actually progress the logic skill, because it means you don't have to put on as many shows to get the coins we need to buy the dragon's nest. But also I recommend buying a dragon chew toy, and I also recommend seeing Apothecary Todd and stocking up on some more toadstools and some more toad sweat, just in case your spell goes wrong the first time and you run out of the toadification spell. You can then make more with the ingredients that you've bought. That's what I did anyway, just in case, because this was very much a trial and error process for me. So I'm telling you what worked for me. I spent hours and hours trying to get this death to happen, and once I figured it out, so freaking good. So just get the extra ingredients, you won't regret it. Now that we have the 49 magic coins that we need to buy the dragon's nest from Vicky Vampiress, go ahead and do that. When you return home from Magic Town, so by jumping in that hole and returning home, your Sim's going to be carrying this little pet bed that has the dragon's egg on it. It's a green dragon's egg, and it looks really freaking cool. Actually, I was so impressed with it. Importantly, before this dragon hatches, we need to talk about the dragons, and this is what I mean. This is going to be a very, very long part. It's the most convoluted death in The Sims 1, and there's lots of information that I need to give you. So there's actually 3 different types of dragons that we can hatch, and each different dragon, it's not that they do different things, it just has different difficulty levels essentially, and how you interact with the egg determines which dragon you're gonna get. So let's talk about the dragons first. The 3 dragons are the purple dragon, the gold dragon, and the red dragon. The purple dragon is called Torch. He's very friendly. He won't set as many fires, but if you neglect the dragon, of course it's going to set fires. It's going to get angry. It's going to set fires. That goes with all of the dragons, by the way. If you neglect them, you're going to have literal hellfire on your hands, my friends. The gold dragon is called Pyrites. It will set some fires. Just normally it will set some fires, but won't set many fires unless, of course, it's neglected. Then there's the red dragon, and oh boy, my friends, I have a lot of experience with this freaking red dragon, because I did not do my research on dragons before I started trying to attempt this death, and I should have. The red dragon is called Bernie, and honestly, the name says it all. He's very likely to regularly set things on fire, including really big objects that can spread fires very quickly. I know this from personal experience when I had 5 fires at once on this lot from this freaking red dragon. It is definitely in this dragon's nature to want to huff and puff and burn your freaking house down. I'm serious. So now we are a little bit familiar with the dragons themselves. What do you need to do for the dragons to determine which dragon you're gonna get? So when you've got the egg, it's gonna shake, and that's when you know that the egg wants attention. Now, paying attention to the egg is how you determine which dragon you're gonna get. So the research that I'd done sort of said between 0 and 6 interactions with the egg. So 6 times that you do something with the egg before it hatches, you're gonna get Bernie, the red dragon. It's basically been neglected as an egg, feels neglected in life. So it's just a nightmare. But if you pay a little bit more attention to the egg, so it says between 7 and 13 interactions, you'll get Pyrites, the gold dragon. Give a little bit of love to the egg. However, if you spoil the egg, if you just give the most love to this freaking egg, so it sort of says more than 14 interactions, you'll get Torch, the purple dragon. And after having all of my nightmares with Bernie, I wanted this freaking purple dragon. I was giving it all the love, and I even just did like the cradle interaction over and over again just to make sure. I don't know if that actually does anything, but I wanted to make sure. So the egg will hatch between 36 and 48 hours after you return home from Magic Town with it, and thankfully I got Torch and I was so happy with that. Some important things that you need to know about caring for your dragon is that they do eat wildflowers, which you can buy from the garden section in build buy mode, and they cost $5 for a plot of wildflowers, and your dragon will eat 1 plot of wildflowers every time it eats. And also the chew toy that I bought for the dragon, I bought that to keep it distracted so that it wouldn't set fires. Because I wasn't looking to have my house get burnt down, better to be safe than sorry, get a chew toy for your freaking dragon. Now we can finally get to the death part. So I actually ended up locking the dragon and the Sims, the 2 Sims that I had, the one that was going to be casting the spell and the one that was going to have the spell cast upon them, in an area that had no furniture and also no escape. I tried to cast the toadification spell on the sim that I wanted to be a toad a few times, but the timing was something I really struggled with. I just couldn't get the timing right. It does go and have a nap in like its little nest thing. I tried multiple times to cast the toadification spell as it was waking up, but it just wouldn't work. My toad would just be sitting there, the dragon would just be sitting there, and then it'd get up and flap its wings and then get back down, and then the sim would just turn back into a sim again. So this is why I recommend buying extra toadstools and toad sweat, and I also bought a butter churn so you can make your own butter at home as well, so that you've got the extra ingredients if you try it and fail like I did the first like 20 times that I freaking tried to do this death. So how did I do it? Let's take a look. So there we go, deepest sympathy, dragon has just died, though the body is gone, the spirit will always remain. So when my other sim, the sim that I turned into a toad, went to interact with the dragon, I clicked that maybe they just needed to be directly facing each other like that. Like, I think it was that she needed to have that interaction and still be facing the dragon when I turned her into a toad, and it happened immediately, like you saw. As soon as she turned into a toad, immediate death. So maybe that's just what it is. Have your other sim interact with the dragon, cast the spell immediately after that interaction finishes, and hopefully it'll be as quick as that for you guys as well. Now this one again is an insta-death. There is no Grim Reaper visit for this one, just a tombstone. And of course, I did after this death set the dragon free because I didn't require Torch's services anymore. But you guys, that's all I've got for this video of exploring all of the sim deaths in The Sims 1. I hope that you enjoyed looking at all of the animations, and if you wanted help in actually achieving these deaths yourself, I hope that this was helpful for you. But guys, this is only the beginning of spooky season. I've got so many more spooky season videos coming your way, including maybe potentially The Sims 2 deaths coming your way this spooky season as well. So if you would like to see that or any of my other spooky season goodness, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Which of these deaths was your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. And also maybe leave the emoji of the headstone emoji, the tombstone emoji in the comments down below to let me know that you got this far in the video, that you enjoyed looking at all the Sims 1 deaths, and you're really excited to see the Sims 2 deaths later on this spooky season. But guys, I hope you're having the spookiest day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!